Met Matt Nanju several years ago. Just really awesome guys as far as giving the information, really making the industry better. They care about the contractors. They care about, really how the whole process works. And then they're very honest as far as when we have a claim to give us their honest opinion as far as whether or not we want to pursue that or not. And then once they, receive that claim, they really do a great job at following up with the homeowners, making sure that they're representing our company, because at the end of the day, our client is trusting us to put them in touch with the best in the industry.
What's up, guys? Lead Meteorologist Sean Choquette here, and we have a storm moving through the far southern reaches of the Denver area over by Castle Rock, Colorado. So we are going to jump right into this, and hopefully this can kind of just keep rolling here as we have more and more storms starting to form off the front range. So just going to start things off. I'm going to pause the radar for a second here. We're going to kind of zoom in on what's currently happening. We just got a radar frame update just a second ago, and it looks like we have quite a bit of hail now falling anywhere you see those high reflectivities. So right here in my hand, this is what you normally see on television. Radar reflectivity, you see the hotter colors, the dark reds and the pinks, that's where you're going to find that hail. And then over here is the correlation coefficient. Normally, the CCs, we like to call them, tend to get much lower. So you get like the greens and the yellows and the blues for when you're seeing that big hail. But Colorado's a little different just because, well, when everything is hail that's falling, the correlation is going to be about the same. So if you're just seeing the general yellow color in here, that means that you are seeing hail. So typically Colorado, you get a ton of hail falling. This looks like it's primarily hail falling. If we put this over here, yeah, so you can see, notice the grays in here. This shows your quantities of hail, your volume of hail, so to speak, and that's showing we are seeing quite a bit of large hail falling here. So again, probably quarter to ping pong ball size hail, anywhere from just to the west of the main area of Castle Pines, all the way down to this section of Castle Rock right here. So places like, let's get some roads, Meadows Boulevard and over by Shane Valley Trail, you're probably seeing quite a bit of hail falling of all different sizes, all small as pea-size hail all the way up to, again, up to some ping pong ball size hail. And this is moving generally east to west. And look at that update we just got right there. There's a lot of hail falling in this right here, guys. So this is going to be continuing to move off to the east. So again, the warning is up for, what we got here? Ping pong ball size hail as this continues going from the west to east. Came rolling off the mountains about half an hour ago. And we're just kind of keeping an eye on it right now. Okay, on the south side, a quarter size right now. There you go. Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, give us updates if you're in here. Colorado can be a little sneaky sometimes in terms of its overall size. But yeah, again, that quarter, $50. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple ping pong balls mixed in, but that primary size is probably going to be a lot of subsevere up to that quarter, $50. And this is pretty typical for a Colorado storm. You get a lot of hail falling, and then that larger hail is mixing in with it. So that's what we're looking at right now. Hang on, let me move my pen out of the way here. Further off to the north, let's just kind of look at everything else that's going on here. Looks like we have another storm off in the mountains still, off to the south and west of our current storm by Castle Rock. This one, we'll keep an eye on that. We got another couple other little showers to keep an eye on. I got to see this little guy by Boulder that's starting to form up. And then up here to the north by Loveland, this looked like it was going to go severe about 10 minutes ago, or a little longer than that now, I guess. really thought we were going to get a severe thunderstorm on this, and it just didn't quite make it as it's trying to roll off the mountains off to the west of Loveland. There's quite a bit of activity here, so I wouldn't be surprised if Loveland did see some storms when these finally kind of get together a little bit. So, and also off to the north, can't rule out, here's Cheyenne, Wyoming. We have a storm that's severe warned as well. I believe this is for, what we got here? What was the warning for? $50 or something. Quarter size hail. This is pretty far off to the west of Cheyenne for now, so that's going to be kind of on the back burner. The main storm we're looking at, the biggest storm so far going on, is in Castle Rock, Colorado. This is the first real storm of the year so far, guys, for Colorado. Been a very slow start here across the Colorado Front Range. Typically, you see storms take off a little bit earlier in the month of June. It's still pretty typical for the time of year for when things get going. You guys can see quite a bit of activity in July. Last year I had 2 5-star maps over the 4th of July weekend, so this could be kind of similar to this. But right now, looks like as we continue pushing off, another update here. This one neighborhood here in Castle Rock seems to just be getting quite a bit of hail falling on it. Again, that quarter, $50 size hail. Again, wouldn't be surprised that ping pong ball or two is in here, but it really looks like we're seeing that quarter size hail and everywhere along Meadows Boulevard here in Castle Rock, and some hail as well up by Castle Pines, over by Country Club Drive, and that's still Country Club Drive. Let's pick a different road. Country Club Estates Drive. Okay, so I guess it's be a nicer area here. So, and then again, this area is, well, I'll just kind of highlight for you guys where I'm thinking we're seeing hail. Everywhere here in the high reflectivity in the pink. Again, there's still not quite enough in terms of the CCs on the other side of me. So it really looks like we don't have like a ton of giant hail in here. So that's why I'm kind of repeating over and over again. Tons of sub-severe hail, and then up to quarter, $50 ping pong ball size hail. Very typical for Colorado, where you get that ton of hail falling, and looking like we're going to be seeing some stuff going on here. Okay, looks like we got all kinds of, thanks to everybody, comments coming in. I'm seeing it coming in on here. Got questions, of course, you can always ask. I know I see the Reeds on here, Eric Hunter, a couple other folks coming in here. So, looks like we have, again, everywhere around this yellow circle that I just drew, quarter, $50 size hail, maybe a ping pong ball or two. I believe the warning is still for ping pong ball size hail. Let's kind of click on this, see what we're looking at. Did they update it any? Yeah, still for ping pong ball size hail. Hail algorithm saying about that as well. We got a quarter report that came in over by Roxborough Park. This was earlier when this first rolled off of the mountain range. Right there, that's where I was like, all right, probably should go start getting ready to go live. And now we're here in Castle Rock, about to cross I-25, and with that hail, quarter, $50 size. This is I-25, right? Yeah, just now crossing I-25 in Castle Rock, and it's going to continue pushing up to the east. Ping pong ball up by his roofs. Hopefully we get a ping pong ball report in here. If you notice, I'm gonna move on the other side. Again, CCs aren't typically low. If you were watching us during the San Antonio storm, or I don't know, I can't remember any of the live coverage. Half of it was at my house this year. So when you see a lot of the greens and the blues, that's when you've seen that giant hail in here. You can kind of see like a whole bunch of, got some greens showing up. So it looks like the hail sizes might have come up a little bit. Again, around ping pong ball size hail, mixing in with a ton of other sizes. You get that whole range, a whole gambit of sizes with this. You're going to get that pea-size hail all the way up to maybe some ping pong balls. So that's what we're looking at for this. Tons of hail covering the ground, basically snow in terms of how much is falling. Is going to make the ground white here across a lot of Castle Rock, like along Wolfensberger Road. Ooh, I probably butchered that. Prairie Hawk Drive, up by Meadows Boulevard. This one neighborhood, it's been hailing here for a little while now. Let's see, this was at 39. So since about 2:30 Mountain Time, it has been hailing in the neighborhood all around Meadows Boulevard here, and it's going to continue pushing through into Castle Rock. Your biggest hail is going to be focused right here, probably in Castle Rock, and then so Meadows Boulevard points south. That's where your biggest hail, your best chance of seeing that ping pong ball size hail as the storm continues pushing to the east. Again, we are south of Denver proper. in Castle Rock. It's one of the suburbs to the south of Denver along the I-25 corridor here in the Front Range of Colorado. We got a new warning issued. We got continued for ping pong ball size hail. Folks are asking about areas north of Denver. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You can see some showers up here, some thunder showers by Loveland. Looked like it was going to try to go severe. Didn't quite seem to make it. Keep an eye on this. Something will probably try to get going up in here. So probably I'd say anywhere along the Front Range has a chance for storms right now. We could look up, you see that storm warned by Cheyenne. Got another storm trying to form north of Wellington. I think Fort Collins itself, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see too much hail. You've been getting some showers on and off the last hour or so, kind of stabilizing the atmosphere. But Loveland points south, completely fair game, open ball game for this. We can definitely see some storms here. Looks like we're trying to get something to form off to the west of Boulder, still out in the mountains. If you're in the mountains here, you're not going to see too much, and then it'll roll off and it'll take off. Much like the storm that we're covering right now, look kind of junky, right? Over in here, and you can tell right when it rolled off the mountains, it really started to take off and is now moving through Castle Rock. So we're just kind of watching all these other little showers. This is very typical of Denver. You get those showers in the mountains, in the Rockies, they roll off the mountains, and you get that lift from the literal fact the wind's blowing east to west, and it goes up the mountains and then into the storms, and that intensifies those storms and gets you some more hail. So we'll be watching this carefully everywhere else, but right now the story of severe hail happening at the moment is in Castle Pines, Castle Rock, Colorado. Everywhere here in the yellow, in the pink, that's where you're going to be seeing that hail. Again, quarter, $50, maybe some ping pong ball size hail mixing in with a ton of it falling, a ton of hail falling in this. It's probably almost exclusively hail falling. You can see got a little bit of lowering of CCs, almost like a bit of a backscatter in here. Yeah, let me look at a couple. I'm gonna look at a couple other parameters while we're doing this. This shows quantities of hail falling here. So you get everywhere the gray, it's primarily hail falling. Very typical of Colorado. Again, tons of hail. You guys start out about a mile up in the air, so you're able to not get too much melting with the hail. And then let's see what melting. Yeah, not too much going on. So there we go. So the hail algorithm, they want to say closer to golf ball size hail. You can see another big thing that we have in Colorado that works great for big storms is you have the Palmer Divide that kind of juts out in this area over here, and you can see the storm almost like has like a weird loop-de-loop in it. It's because the storm gets all wrapped up and the mountains kind of turn it inward in itself. So it tends to happen quite a bit. This area gets hit with hail pretty frequently because of the fact that the mountains, just the geography of the area really promotes big hail. Is this a shower by Golden? Yeah, so in terms of other areas that I'm looking at, these little showers, one over by Golden, one over by Boulder. Keep an eye on these guys, see if any of them blow up into a big storm, and then these showers up here by Loveland. All of these could potentially have large hail with them as well. So as we have this storm continuing pushing off to the east across Castle Rock, we're getting long durations of hail in the same area, pretty much right along I-25 from Castle Pines North down through Castle Rock. So we'll check in on what else is happening in the country at the moment, and not too much. It's pretty much just the whole show is basically here in the Front Range of Colorado with the storms just south of Denver, stuff trying to get its act together over by Fort Collins, and then a storm that's warned off to the west of Cheyenne. And how windy is it in Castle Rock area is a straight downward storm. I'll check on that in just a second. Elsewhere along the risk area here, going all the way over to Chicago, just some showers right now. You got a severe thunderstorm watch up. We got a warning for a storm here in western sections of Wisconsin. But that's not looking like anything crazy hail-wise. So again, the main focus that we have right now is here across the Colorado Front Range. So we're going to jump back in. Somebody asked about winds. Let's check in on that. Let's see what the winds are going to be. And not looking super windy right now. Yeah, not super windy. So again, Colorado tends to see a lot of the hail going straight down, probably kind of like that. Maybe a little bit of wind pushing in just a little bit, but right now it's kind of sticking with that more vertical falling hail. Got the nice little spikes in here. Again, won't be surprised. That ping pong ball size hail be possible anywhere within this region. So across anywhere along Highway 85 and I-25 in Castle Rock, this one area, this Meadows Boulevard area, that seems to be the place to be. It's been hailing since about 2:30 Mountain Time, and it's been about 20 minutes now. So that hail's really piling up over there. Again, all different sizes. I'll check in on Cheyenne now while I'm at it. Not looking as great. I think I'm going to take the time. I'll load up a different radar for you guys so I can get Cheyenne's radar up and running, see what it's looking like there. There's a possibility for hail in Chicago gone. Then Chicago itself, it's probably a little less than what we were saying before. I mean, I did have my concerns. It rained a lot there earlier today. But the main threat for Chicago wasn't really going to be until about 6 o'clock anyway. We'll keep an eye on it. I think, again, I had low chances, and I'm probably going to stick with low chances for now. But not gone, just low. Areas to the west, I think, so have a better chance in there. Okay, let's see if I can got the other radar up and running. Okay, let me just switch this bad boy up to Cheyenne. While we're waiting, thanks to our sponsors as always. C3 Group was at the beginning of this video here. Also the Merlin Law Group and Balance Claims and Auto Supplement. You can check them out in the description below if you're watching us here live. Ad break cut-ins for them as well. So here's the storm we are in now in Wyoming. Here is the city of Cheyenne, and off to the west here, a storm that's definitely dropping quite a bit of hail. This is west of Cheyenne, Wyoming, possibly up to some golf ball size hail here, and that's going to continue pushing off to the east. Cheyenne, you don't have to worry about anything for maybe about another 45 minutes or so. So this is taking its time to get over there, but it is still worthy to check in on every now and again. Jumping back over to the Denver area. Again, the only severe storm right now, the only game in town, is going to be here in Castle Rock, where the storm continues to just be hanging out. It's now looks like most of it's crossed I-25. That's the green line right in here. There you go. That's where your hail is going to be. That's probably where some of your biggest hail potential is. Again, nothing too crazy. We're not looking at baseball size hail or anything. Probably not even really looking at too much towards golf balls. If one lone golf ball report came in, I wouldn't be shocked. But I think, again, a lot of that sub-severe hail up to quarter to $half ping pong ball size hail mixing in, very similar to, let's see, I'm getting reports of Plum Creek Parkway and Eaton Street and Castle Rock getting tons and tons of dime size hail. Again, pretty much what I'm saying. There you go, you get that tons of hail falling, and then again, I won't be surprised to get some of that those bigger stones mixed in. When the storm passes, you can go and you scoop up a bunch of that hail. You realize, oh man, I actually got a handful of bigger stones in here. Checking out some, see if we got any sort of reports in here. Oh, it's a wall cloud, of course. Yeah, so this is yeah, really looking like, again, pretty much what we see a lot in Colorado. A ton of hail. Wind speed, probably pretty low. I'm not seeing too much in terms of wind-driven hail in this this guy. Maybe a little windy up to the north, up by Highway 85 over that Meadows Boulevard, but I mean, we're not talking severe gusts or anything. You know, you get that like 25, 30 mile per hour wind gust with the rain and hail coming down. That's not going to be too crazy. I don't think anyway. It doesn't look like what I'm seeing so far anything too crazy wind-wise. Again, warm for ping pong ball size hail. It would be some of that mixing in. It'd be a lot of that pocket change hail, P to $half size hail, and then you get that lone ping pong ball. You probably have to go look for it a little bit, but again, quite a bit of hail falling here in Castle Rock, south side of Castle Rock, by Quarry Road and Loop Road. So Lake Gulch Road. Let's see, North Ridge Road. Yeah, pretty much all Castle Rock, and this is continuing to move off to the east here. And yeah, looks like we got another storm trying to form down by West Creek. That's going to be in the mountains, and then otherwise just kind of waiting around for other storms to kind of get going. So this is the the first storm of the day. I'm going to probably just keep an eye on this until it passes Castle Rock, and then if nothing else forms, we'll probably take a break. We'll come back for anything else that happens. Again, how big is the hail in Castle Rock? Looking like right now, I'm thinking you get up to that $1.25 to $1 size hail is probably a safe bet. Again, a lot of that sub-severe hail is going to be falling, so you're going to get a ton, like it's basically snowing level hail, that P to dime to nickel size hail, and then you get the quarters and $half mixing in, and then again, I wouldn't be surprised to get a ping pong ball or two, and no golf balls, no 2-inch hail, not in this particular storm. The correlation coefficient typically 2 inches of notification I got, huh? Dang, man. Where's that coming from? Any other, let's see, we haven't gotten any other real alerts in here. Yeah, so it's, somebody said something about 2-inch hail, and, oh yeah, you're getting that 2-inch marker from Cheyenne's radar. So let's see, we got this is the algorithm. They're saying up to 2-inch hail with this. I don't think there's 2-inch hail falling in this right now. I think we're seeing that, again, $1.25, $1 size hail with a lot of the smaller hail mixing in. I can't emphasize that enough. And if you're new to Colorado, you might be thinking, oh man, where's like the big hail like in Dallas? No, Colorado is kind of a different beast. You get that ton of hail in there, and you get the bigger hail mixing in with all the little guys. So that's what we're seeing here in Castle Rock. That $1.25, $1 size hail, tons of little hail mixing in with that. Okay, let's just kind of zoom out a little bit. I'm analyzing everything live with you guys, so I just kind of want to see if we got, again, these couple showers here. What we got? Keep an eye on these little guys coming off them, rolling off the mountains. This one particular rolling off by Golden. This is a typical area where you see storms form in Colorado. They get off the mountains and then blow up. Over here by Boulder as well. So I'm keeping an eye on both of them. Let's see what the echo tops are looking like. Pretty short right now, so I don't think they're a big deal at the moment. But you know, Colorado is one of those places where very quickly things can go from it's not a big deal to the storm blows up. So that's right now. Castle Rock's the only thing with any severe hail falling at the moment. Places in here, that's your best chance for your hail, getting that $1/4 to ping pong ball size hail, and that ping pong ball size hail is probably pretty isolated. It's moving about that way. Follow the yellow arrow. Dang, the marker just went up a bunch. Hail sizes might be coming up here, guys, as I'm talking here. This is the biggest hail marker the hail algorithm's been saying so far. We're saying it's over 2 inches now. Again, I'm not seeing anything that's indicating 2-inch hail with this here. The CCs are backscattering a little bit, so I think there's some bigger hail in it than what we had, say, a little bit earlier. The marker keeps jumping all over the place here, guys. So, all right, got the weather team chatting. See, we have. So again, this part of the storm on south of downtown Castle Rock, this area is probably where your biggest hail is going to be falling right now. Along Loop Drive, areas I mentioned before, Deer Valley Drive and Mountain Sky Drive. These areas, I think, if you're going to see anything big up to ping pong ball size hail, maybe higher concentrations of that, higher concentrations, just severe hail in general, so $1/4 to ping pong, the golf, I'm not saying golf balls yet, $1/4 ping pong ball size hail. This area in here, the streets that I just mentioned, like Quarry Road and Deer Valley Drive, South Lake Gulch Road, these areas is where your hail is more likely to be a little larger. I have it zoomed out just enough. You can kind of tell where the lower CCs, where the greens are showing up. It's kind of backscattering behind the storm. It's showing that there's more hail, more big hail in there. So as this continues to move off to the east, the storm might be strengthening now that it's kind of pulling away from the mountains a little bit, and it's a little more organized. It was turning over itself, and it looks like it's trying to really get its act together a little bit better here as it keeps moving off to the east. Let's take a look at this in 3D. Let's see how tall this storm is at. Look at that. You can see that hail core going way up into the sky here. Let's see if I can get the stupid, there we go. So we have this, so you can see in here all the pinks shooting up. That means their tops, you're getting up over 30,000 foot with your hail getting up in the sky there. So it's that's pretty high up there. Again, that hail is really getting lofted quite a ways. Pretty tall storm, which means we're definitely seeing a lot more hail now. Actually, I think the hail sizes are going up on this. As I'm looking at this, we just got an update while I went 3D. You can see, let me just step a little bit out of the way. You can see, notice how the CCs are starting to get lower. You see more green, more blue. That always means you're seeing more of that larger hail falling. The pinks are really starting to take over here on the reflectivity. It's telling me we're getting more big hail. So yeah, you're still gonna be getting all the varying sizes, but now I'm getting a little more confident. I think we might be getting closer to some golf ball size hail in the far southern reaches of Castle Rock, Colorado, as this storm is strengthening, as it's starting, got its act together a little bit and starting to pull away a little bit here. So anywhere, again, say right in there, that's where your biggest hail is going to be right now, and that's your best chance of seeing maybe up to some golf ball size hail for the Castle Rock area along Loop Drive, Fawn Ridge Way, another one, Stellar's Ranch Road, and then even moving over towards Stone Canyon Ranch Road and South Gulch Road. I think when I remove the radar, yeah, it's starting to get a little more rural here. Is this really starting to pull away a little bit? More rural, but probably a lot of big houses in terms of, I mean, I know this area has some more money to it. So as this continues, yeah, you can look at, you can see the loop. It's starting to kind of come together a little bit better, get a little more organized as a storm. Definitely starting to drop some bigger hail now as it's moving off to the south and east, though there is not a lot of population beyond it. So we'll see. This will take off, and my focus is going to kind of go more towards these little showers off to the west here as they all start to roll off the mountains and possibly do the same thing in parts of Denver and points to the north. Also, keep an eye, of course, to the south as well. Colorado Springs, these little guys are going to pull over by Colorado Springs as well. You guys have had a history of having some pretty epic hailstorms in the last couple of years, and I wouldn't be surprised if that trend continues. I'll switch radars real fast. Let's look at the Cheyenne radar. Again, this storm is probably dropping some pretty big hail here. I think it's dropping more than quarter size hail. Still have a ways to go to get the Cheyenne though. Here's the storm, and then here's Cheyenne off to the east. You still got another half hour or so before this even gets into striking distance of Cheyenne, Wyoming, but keep an eye on that. Otherwise, yep, got a $50 report that just popped up for Castle Rock. So $50 size hail in Castle Rock. Again, like what I've been saying this whole time, we've had that hail quarter, $50 size hail, tons of little hail mixing in. Again, the hail sizes just recently have been getting a little bit larger. So they've been going up the last 10 minutes or so, not even 10 minutes, the last 5-6 minutes or so. So you're not going to get, this report's going to be from something a little while ago. The bigger hail, that's most likely what's happening right now, and that'll get reported a little bit, and it's a little further south from where more people live in Castle Rock, so that's going to continue moving off. Let's see, did I just, yeah, okay, that's not too crazy. All right, so this continues moving to the east. Storm seems to be on the move now, off to the south and east. We also have another storm over here. Again, here's Colorado Springs, just to the north, up by what is this? North of Monument or by Lake Spur. This storm's trying to get going too. So I think Colorado Springs, your chances of seeing a pretty good storm today starting to go up as we have more of these storms off to the west in the Rocky Mountains, starting to roll off the mountains. So, yeah, watching these other showers that are happening. If you're just joining us, we've had a storm roll off the mountains in south of Denver, hit Castle Rock at $1.25 to $1.5 size hail reported. Probably larger hail falling now, but it's getting a little bit more rural, away from some people. You got some other showers that we're watching off by Golden and off by Boulder. These could blow up into storms as well. Storm showers up by Loveland. We're watching a pretty nasty storm off to the north and west of Cheyenne, Wyoming as well that may end up hitting those folks. And keeping an eye on Colorado Springs. We may have some storms down by there in a little bit as well. So as we wait for another frame radar update, I think I'm going to switch it over to a quick shout out for one of our sponsors that we always have. They'll be real fast, only about 15-20 seconds when we get another update in here. So Jeremiah, do the other sponsors that, so I did C3 Group at the beginning. This is for our 2 other sponsors. You check them out, description below, Merlin Law Group and Balance Claims. I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
I've met with a lot of firms. I've had these situations before, but I haven't found anybody as good as Merlin and as dedicated to what they do. They're not here to make you happy. They're here to win.
We are supplementers and estimators for general contractors. It relieves some of that administrative burden of keeping it organized, making sure all the data's together, and allows them to go back to selling and producing jobs and making more money every year.
All right, we are back here, guys. So if you're just joining us, a nice little shout out again. Merlin Law Group, Balance Claims, 2 of our sponsors, as well as C3 Group. Check them out all in the description below. They help make all this possible. If you're just joining in on here, we have a storm has moved through Castle Rock, $1.25 size hail. Again, this is the first real storm of the year so far for Colorado. Large quantities of hail. I think the biggest hail is probably falling now in far southern reaches of the Castle Rock area. I believe Garton Road. Yeah, there's not a whole lot over here, guys. Just some probably big farm homes as this continues moving off to the south and east. This is going to be pulling away from Castle Rock pretty soon towards Elizabeth and Kiowa and off to the south and east. So with that, I think I'm probably going to have to take a little bit of a break. Not going to lie, the batteries on my wireless mic are about to die. So I'm going to take a quick break. We'll come back with another storm. Starts moving into population again. This guy in Castle Rock is moving away from the majority of population. It gets pretty rural here pretty fast. So we'll come back if the storm over by Cheyenne does anything, or if any of these other showers we're watching by Boulder or off to the west of Golden roll across over the mountains and into the city areas as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, thanks to C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and Balance Claims. We'll probably be back to do those hail dance. Make sure we are. I'll be back in a little bit.